You want to come back and forth, or you want to just come back to me? Kelly, what do you suggest? Versus Robert Bashara. Today is the day for post-conviction. Appearance for the record.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Lisa Lynn here on behalf of the State of Michigan.
And good afternoon, John Boytala for the people.
Ronald Ambrose, appearing on behalf of Robert Bashara.
Mr. Bashara. Before we begin, the court would indicate that we are going to, first of all, take testimony, determine whether or not what the position of Mr. Gentz is. But the court believes it necessary to make the following order. In order to avoid the appearance of impropriety, this court makes the following order: that only licensed attorneys in Michigan be allowed to sit in the area reserved for attorneys. The prosecution, defense, and other attorneys presenting evidence are prohibited from having any support persons in that area, and the court is going to enforce this particular order. We have enough lawyers present here for representing various parties, and so therefore that is the court's order, and I will have my deputies to enforce the order as such. Okay, Mr. Gentz, we need Mr. Gentz out, and we need Mr. Holler up front to find out what we're going to do. Do you want to sequester potential witnesses if that's necessary?
At this juncture, we don't believe that any potential witnesses are in the courtroom.
Okay.
We made a determination. We don't believe any potential witnesses are in the courtroom.
Very good. Thank you. At this time, Madam, place your appearance for the record. Mr. Holler.
John J. Holler, appearing on behalf of Mr. Joseph Gentz, who's standing to my immediate right. Good afternoon, Your Honor.
We recessed last week after the court had wanted you to have an opportunity to have dialogue as well as view a video that of an investigative subpoena that was conducted in this particular matter. And that was so done in this courtroom. Is that correct?
That was done in your jury room. That is correct, Your Honor.
Right. Okay, which is a part of my courtroom, right?
Yes.
All right, very good. And you've had the opportunity to discuss this matter with your client. Is that correct?
I visited him on 2 separate occasions regarding a video that we watched in its entirety. And I've advised him, I think the existence of this video was unbeknownst to me. It was a video of an investigative subpoena interrogation in the prosecutor's office in December of 2012. And it was unknown to me. I think it was a surprise to the court. And
I was not aware of it, and obviously I should not have been aware of it because it was a grand jury that was conducting this matter, and it wasn't necessary for the court to view it because, in fact, that determination had been made about the charges. So therefore, you're absolutely right. I was unaware of it.
Right, very well, Judge. And I think the court was concerned that Mr. Gentz be aware of possible consequences of perjury once he had already testified regarding the essentials of the murder of Bob Bashara and in the investigation of this case. And I have advised him that were he to take the stand and testify today, and his testimony was to be at material variance with the elements that he had earlier testified to in the investigative subpoena deposition that was taken in December of 2012 that he and I both watched on the 12th in your jury room, that he would quite possibly open himself up to the penalties of perjury, which would carry a life sentence. My client has indicated that he understands that, Is that right, Mr. Gentz?
That's correct.
Okay, and my client has indicated to me that he wishes to take the stand and testify today.
Okay, now, Mr. Gant, we have been over this, but I want to go back over this again, okay? You understand that a couple things. Number one, exactly what the council has stated to you, that if in fact you are to testify, there's a great likelihood that if it is at variance with what you say, the people then can institute an action against you for perjury. Because of the charges, the underlying charges, you understand that you could receive natural life. Do you understand that?
I understand that.
Now listen to me. Listen, okay? Now there are two things that can happen with you. All right? After I view all of the testimony, I can do one or two things. I can grant a new trial for Mr. Bashara, or I can deny it. Now if I deny it, and you take that stand, do you understand, irrespective of my outcome, that you still will be punished? Do you understand that potentially?
Yes.
And if I grant it, he will get a new trial, but at the same time, you still will be subjected to being sentenced up to natural life for just based on the words out of your mouth. Now you've done 17, been offered 17 years, and he's got what, 2 or 3 years good time?
Yes.
Which means that you got a potential out date in 15 years. Now that may seem like a long time, but in fact, it really isn't. And you want to take a stand today, understanding that Mr. Hollis represented you before when you sent the letter and then you recanted on that. You remember that? Yes, you do. When Miss Reed was your lawyer. You remember that, don't you? When you came before the court and you said you wanted to withdraw your plea.
Yeah, I remember that.
Right? You sent me these letters. Oh, I want to withdraw my plea. Then at the last minute you changed your mind. You remember that?
Yes, ma'am.
Now this isn't a game. Now before the last time, I let you withdraw your plea and kept it moving and did your time. This time, there are no guarantees that attach to it. I have no control over what the prosecutor's office can do. Do you understand that?
That's correct.
And despite that, you still want to take the stand.
Yes, ma'am.
Can I turn to the pro? Regarding some statements that you made regarding a phone conversation. I am going to, and the basis of my decision is that I want you to understand the full implication of what you're doing. And when I just asked you a minute ago about you withdrawing your plea, there seemed to be some hesitation or lack of memory on your part until I continued to ask you about it, which then you had indicated, oh yes, I remember. But initially you had no recall of it. I do know that there is a issue of limitation regarding his education, and I just want to make sure that I do everything in my will possible to understand, to let him understand the implications of what in fact he's going to do. And so what I am going to do is something that I normally do for very young defendants on occasion, but I believe that because of your lack of understanding and capacity, because you just demonstrated right before me. Not that there's an issue of competency, but that you have understand the full implications of what you're doing. I've been notified that we have a representative here, your brother's here. And I'm going to allow my deputy to take you into the jury room so that there can be a discussion regarding, I believe, some phone calls. And once you come out, let me tell you this, right? Whatever decision you make, you will live with. What's the reason?
Judge, can I make a request that since Mr. Gentz is my client,
That you also be, obviously,
be present? Thank you.
you be present, the deputies and the brother.
Very well.
Very good. Come on. Where's the brother? You're gonna need another deputy in the court. Have you heard them? Can you, wait a minute, hold on for a minute, hold on. We need you to set up whatever needs to be set up. Mr. Muscat?
What?
Set up whatever needs to be set up.
Okay, okay. Judge, can we just?
What you talking about, Wes?
Write down the call. They smashed my computer, I'm suing. You're taking your system? Yeah, unless you want to unhook everything.
Judge, I don't want
It's
to
two
have
calls,
that.
only a couple minutes.
The court is going to order, back on the record, I'm going to make an order that the prospective interview that you not show the face of Mr. Gentz's brother. We're in fact going to, I'm going to allow you to be here, but I want you to cut the cameras off and the phone. Once the interview process is over with, I then will bring Mr. Gentz back out where the court will give you full disclosure at that point